get that to start with.
No, and it does take time, doesn't it? Because in my own, if you like, the supervision process, the first point is getting that I question, so the person feels that they can actually study their own practice. Then there is that, I love the way you just expressed that in terms of the, almost like the phases, because then there is that sense of the face in the embodied knowledge, that you're actually enabling people to express that embodied knowledge and see it to be of value. And then there is this more difficult phase, which is enabling people to recognize that expression of the fundamental values and those ontological values in the practice, which is helped by the video, and for them to actually acknowledge these as explanatory principles. Now,
maybe even we need to go one step further. I mean, do you know when Nathan Brubaker talked about, we're building these safe communities, but are we challenging the safe communities? Are we actually reaching out?
Yeah.
And, we make the assumption that people believe in practitioner research. They believe that in action research, that you can actually improve your practice by asking, how can I improve my practice?
Yeah.
Everybody isn't there. We know that the only way you really can conceptualize that is if you do it.
Yeah.
So maybe there's even a step before, the I question, because there's a whole practitioner research, valuing. Sure. Then there's the, I have real knowledge and I put my I in, which you struggled with for years.
Yes.
And you talked about that story about Pam Lomax and Kingston, that group. Then there's having the faith that you not only know a great body of knowledge, but you have a right to express it. It's not sort of self-serving.
Yeah.
And then you get them to build into then that whole body of knowledge that they're prepared to share with others, and values as a way of explaining their lives or as standards of practice, and having faith in that. And then you can take that next step to looking at the visual images to explain your relationships with others and the passions you have in your life, and using that body language to explain what's important. And as Nathan Brubaker says, to actually see what's in those classrooms.
Yeah. Now, that feels to me to be a really exciting and significant framing, for what it is that we're doing. Now, what I could do is I could put this onto YouTube, so that you've got it, just to see what it is that you were saying then. Because I think that could give the framing to the paper. If you felt like framing the paper, just like you've said it now, and then if you're happy, I would love to focus on this sense of the empathetic resonance. What I'm really fascinated by is that final stage we're talking about, where people have actually seen the value of the practitioner research, put their eye in it, valued their embodied knowledge, and this right that they have to express it, but then to move into what counts as explanatory principles, because this is what I think will contribute to this new epistemology. It's that getting these, for me, it's getting those standards of judgment into the academy globally, which will help to transform what counts as educational knowledge. Now, if you feel easy with that, I can continue to work on that last section. If you can put on that framing that you've just given, does that sound okay?
Well, the last time we talked, I was struggling with getting really at the essence of what we're trying to convey here. And it wasn't coming clearly. It kind of was in bits and pieces. And I think maybe for people to follow our argument, which is what we're trying to get them to do, we need to maybe be more explicit on these kind of evolutionary stages of conducting this kind of research.
No, I'm completely agreeing. I mean, what you've just done is contextualize something, which, if you like, helps to make sense of my own focus of interest, because that has emerged out of 40-odd years of inquiry. So what I'm doing is actually ignoring what it is that you're highlighting, which is so important. So I'm just going straight into what concerns me. And of course, you're right that we need to give that kind of phasing for the context, if you want to do this kind of inquiry, you've got to take these ideas and understandings into account. So I think
this is in a curriculum. This is what we call scaffolding.
Yeah.
You know, so that's kind of a language you can use with practitioners too. That I think they comprehend.
Yeah, and that's really important with Vygotsky's work. You know, on scaffolding. So that is what you were then doing, and I thought that was really powerful.
Okay, well, this is good because I'm sort of starting to construct that last session with him,
Great.
which you have to. It's timing issue. You know, you have to kind of be sensitive to the processes that they're grappling with.
Yeah, and what you've just done there is outline something that we've actually learnt over years, and that and
the years are growing, aren't they?
You know, which I was actually ignoring, you know, because I was just going into what was concerning me about, okay, I'm fascinated about the use of empathetic resonance with the videos to communicate the meaning of these ontological values that can be used as explanatory principles. Now, actually, that's right at the end of the processes of learning that we've actually gone through. And I love the way you just framed that, and as you say, scaffolding the ideas. So if you feel happy just by putting what you've said there, as I say, I'll work on that last section, and then we can see how it looks before we've got to upload it on Friday.
Correct. Well, I think we've got a couple of days. You've got things you have to do, though, do you?
No. I can be around most of tomorrow and Thursday. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really great.
It's coming together.
It really is. So what I'll do is I'll put this now onto YouTube so that we can just get that framing that you've given it with the scaffolding. Okay? And I'll send you the URL.
I'll send the URL.
Yeah, I'll send you the URL if you could send me the two, that you've done for the critical evaluations.
Okay.
That's really good. Okay, so hopefully we can check in tomorrow as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same time?
Yeah, that's great.
And you're still 4 hours now, eh?
Yeah.
When do you change over?
Well, do you know, I haven't a clue. I shall have a look and let you know. Yes. Good.
Okay.
Okay then. See you tomorrow. Bye then.
Take care.
Ta-da.
Bye.